When you think Lotus, you probably think about a lightweight car with a stick shift, a great chassis, and a moderately powerful gasoline engine. But that lineage is coming to an end with this, the Lotus Emira, the final gas-powered Lotus. Yes, future Lotuses are slated to be fully electric, meaning you could say goodbye to that stick shift, that lovely combustion noise, and almost certainly that sub 3,300 pound curb weight. So how is Lotus's legendary gas-powered lineage going to go out? On its knees or on its feet? Beau and I are going to review the new Emira to find out. All right, Beau, we're going to write a car review together.
You're going to show me how to write a review. I'm going to show you a cool car. You haven't seen this yet, have you?
Nope.
This is, in many ways, the last true Lotus. Now, I sell these, so, you know, I want them to succeed. So
I'm worried about that. As a journalist, I have to be objective. Don't make me rip on this car. Please be good.
I won't, because, look, I think, you know, we should tell the truth and what it is. This is what I've been waiting for. I've been a Lotus dealer for 15 years. 15 years, people are saying, why in the hell do you have Lotus? You guys sell thousands of cars, and then you'd struggle to sell 5 cars a year with Lotus. Why do you do this? This is why. Because that was a good car, but this, I believe, is a great car. This is what we've been waiting for. Somebody to love the brand, to just give it enough money where it can be what it wants to be. So yes, I want it to succeed, but you've got to tell the truth. So getting in, I want to say, it's a lot easier than its predecessors.
Oh yeah, getting in's not too bad. I have these notebooks, by the way, for notes, so I'll be taking notes. That's a journalist thing. I got it.
Okay, you got to teach me. I got to learn something here.
I want the red one here. You can have the black one.
Good. Okay, so how do we start the process?
We just drive, and the thing is, you're going to quickly forget how this thing feels to drive. And by the time it comes review time, you're going to be like, oh, was the ride quality good? I can't remember. That's why you got to write things down. So whatever you say, I'll write down. You do the same for me. And to be a car journalist, you have to make your drive partner hate you. That's how it works. You drive like a jerk, make the drive partner vomit.
Drive like a jerk? I can do that.
It's required.
Well, I don't know if I can get you to hate me, but certainly be pissed off at my driving. Okay, so now you can see my bad shifting as well.
Oh, you just get ready for my shifting. It's gonna be even worse.
It's a quiet car.
It is.
In fact, some people would prefer more noise. It's got a little bit of that whine.
Oh yeah, when you have fun with it,
so
the noise is enough, I feel, when you're having fun. Oh!
And the brake feel is nice and grippy too. See, I don't know how to express things the way a journalist does, but I can express things emotionally.
No, that's all good. To be a journalist, you just gotta be a little bit snobby.
Okay.
And say things like steering feel, and you know, even if you don't actually know what they mean, just say them with confidence and you're ready to rock. All right, so early notes.
Yeah.
Around town, pretty quiet.
Very quiet, very easy to drive.
The ride's actually not bad.
The ride is surprisingly smooth.
Yeah. I mean, this is Van Nuys. Like, the roads are not amazing. Oh.
Well, there's just too many cars on it. That's... You know, I was saying earlier, everyone compares things to the 911, right? Any sports car, especially rear engine.
You drive a 911 almost every day, right?
I do. And you kind of have to give up competing with the 911 because no one's going to ever beat it.
Yeah.
So you got to do something different. So I was really asking myself, okay, well, what's different about this car? And that's when I really started to learn to love it. I love the gated shifter feel.
Oh, it just feels like really tight and notchy?
Yeah,
Ooh, I can't wait
but
to try it.
you'll see what I mean by that. Now the steering, okay, this is on a Porsche, where you point it is where it goes.
Oh,
you know what I mean? This has just a little bit more play in it. You see that?
Yep.
It's edgier. You know what I mean? Everything in this car is just a little edgier than the 911. The 911 is so well mannered that you don't even have to think about driving anymore. This you have to drive, which if you want to drive a car, this is a driver's car. It feels so light. That's the key. It really feels like they added lightness. As cheesy as that is, the whole experience is a little bit more fun because there's a little bit more fear involved, if that makes any sense. So this is weird in that it really feels like a Lotus in its lightness, its agility, playfulness, but it adds in that it's more of a usable exotic car than previous Lotus. Lotuses? Lodi?
I mean,
I think it's Lotuses with the little apostrophe.
Yeah, Lodi's a little weird.
And look, modern switchgear. Like, every time there's an entertainment system in a Lotus, it's always a tack-on, and it's like usually like an aftermarket Sony or something like that, really lame. Now there's a full-on integrated system with a computer. For once, things are on the steering wheel. I don't remember that ever being in a Lotus. Digital dash, modern conveniences, but it drives like a Lotus. Got my pen in my ear.
Good.
Can you
Here, write down some notes,
Call me
because I'm
Scoop.
telling you, one of the biggest mistakes a car journalist does, they go for a drive, then they don't rate the review for 2 weeks, and then they're like, oh crap, I can't remember
happened?
what it was like driving that car. If you keep the revs down, it's really kind of quiet back there.
It is.
But if you get on it,
I like it.
Oh yeah, if you get on it, it's more than enough.
So I got to figure out, how do we get you a sense of the feeling of the steering?
Hard to tell now going straight, but I will say the shifter is a gem. When you go in gear, you know you're in gear. There, it's not a stick and slime. It is notchy and delicious.
Wait, not a stick in slime. This is gold.
Thank you, scribe. That's what it's like to be a car journalist. You're better than everyone.
Awesome.
Here's the thing about Lotus. Lotus is not just a car company. It is an engineering consultancy. Go
Yes.
to Google and type in Lotus Engineering, and it won't be the car company's website. It will be an engineering consultancy. That's what they do.
Legendary. I mean, they're responsible, for the first Tesla. They did so much engineering for Aston Martin, and I mean,
They've
so
had a
many
hand.
OEMs.
Yeah,
oh
absolutely.
My gosh.
And so you might be thinking, well, Lotus is a small company. They don't make that many cars. What do they know? What do they know? You can't even imagine what they know. And when they built their own car, the result is this.
Oh, this is fun.
Woo!
Do I write that down? This is fun?
Oh, yeah, that's critical. Critical.
Okay.
Don't forget that note.
Yes.
It does feel light.
Right?
It feels light. Oh my goodness.
You
this
feel
thing is-
that?
Oh, it's so good.
You can almost feel the chassis. Does that make sense?
I mean, it's part of your butt at this point.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, this is a worthy final Lotus. Absolutely.
It's music to my ears.
It is.
You're not just saying that for me, right?
No. The chassis, you can tell, is great because when you turn, the vehicle turns.
Yes.
It's not like there's like everything, suspension and all the bushings need to tighten up and there's a delay. There's no delay.
No.
It's just that maybe the ratio isn't what you're used to in a Porsche. Maybe a Porsche is a little more, you turn the wheel a little bit and you go that way.
It's so precise, and that's what I'm spoiled with now.
Yep.
Realizing most cars are not like that.
If anybody's concerned about objectivity, let me just say, some of the fit and finish needs work on this pre-production vehicle. It's true, but you don't give a shit when you're driving it. It does not matter. What matters is how good this shifter is, how great this chassis is. Okay, see, I told you I shift worse than you do.
You're just making me feel better right now. Whenever you drove a Lotus, you always had to accept the compromises, right? But it drove so pure that you were
Yep.
willing to just give up everything else. This has that, but then the other things as well. So there's not that huge compromise.
But the point is, you think about what a Lotus needs to be. What does it need to be? It needs to be fun to drive, viscerally intoxicating. And I don't think historically Lotuses have had to be beautiful. So just add that as a cherry on top to the final iteration. Holy shit, that shifter's incredible. I'm gonna get arrested. There is a question that this car sort of leads you to ask if you're a Lotus fan.
Yeah.
And that is, how do you beat this with an EV?
You don't beat this. There's other areas.
Maybe that's the wrong question to ask.
Yeah. 'Cause I love EVs, but after a while you kind of miss the noise. You know what I'm saying? It's something like
Yes.
Like an engine feels like an animal.
It is an animal. It's right on our ass.
Exactly. That feels so good.
Right on our ass. There's an animal chasing us.
And when you're in an EV, it's a machine. I think that's one of the biggest differences to me.
True.
Like this actually breathes, it growls, it's
Yep.
you know, it's you're wrestling with it a little
Yep.
bit. And EV is smooth and it does whatever you tell it to do. It's different. But it's hard to beat this.
It is.
So I think it's really smart of Porsche to say the 911 is going to have an engine as long as possible. It's going to die on its feet. Ford just said the same thing about the V8 Mustang, and I think this is the same thing with the Lotus. This has to be they're going to keep this going as long as possible. They haven't told me that, but they got to, right?
Yep.
It's amazing.
So there are some drive modes here. I want to play with them a little bit.
Oh shit, we forgot about we were in regular mode this whole
Shit,
time.
we're in touring mode. Let's go track mode.
Oh man, we've been in dork mode this whole time? Jeez. All right, thank you for my journalism lesson. And
I'm not sure I taught you a thing, but it doesn't matter.
It's all good.
Hell yeah. So there it is. The Lotus Emira, the end of an era. And it is awesome. It handles beautifully, it's comfortable for everyday driving, and it looks incredible. Sure, I wish that supercharged 3.5 liter 400 horsepower V6 revved a bit higher and maybe sounded a bit louder, and some of the interior bits on this pre-pro model were literally falling apart. But aside from that, it's clear. The gasoline Lotus lineage is going to die on its feet, arguably as strong as ever, bringing smiles to faces and all for a Cayman GTS-esque price of $100 grand.